Well, hello everybody. Z3KO Trinity here. Today I'm going to be doing a professional review on not this shitty book, but this one. Goosebumps, Night of the Living Dummy 2. And no, I didn't get it from a Goodwill store. This was in the box. I've ordered the whole set of the original books, and this is just one of the books that was in it, so he just ordered it from a Goodwill store. But this book totally makes up for the last book that I read. This is so much better. This book was the nuts, okay? It was good. Really, really good. The characters of this story have so much more personality, just so much, like, from the very beginning of the book, it hooks me right in. I really love Amy's character. I felt so damn sorry for her throughout this whole book. I loved every character in this book, even her perfect sister. Like, everything down to the T. And their little brother, Jed, he was real funny. I thought that R.L. Stine did an excellent job with this book. He really did. Night of the Living Dummy is like his staple. That's what everyone knows. Just, all in all, when it comes to Slappy, you know it's going to be good, okay? But as far as this book goes, it is fantastic. I really loved reading this one. It had me hooked. I did not want to put this book down. From the very first sentence all the way to the very last, I just thought it was great. Very, very good. If you don't know what this one's about, it's about a girl named Amy, and every night on Thursday, they have this family... what they call family sharing night, where all the family kind of gets together and like share something, whether it's like a story, whether it's like a talent that they can do, whatever. And I laughed my ass off to how sarcastic this one part was. Like the boy Jed, he's like, "Jed, are you gonna share something?" He demanded weakly. Jed nodded. "Yeah." He stood in the center of the room and shoved his hands into his jean pockets. "He wears loose, baggy jeans about 10 sizes too big, blah, blah, blah. I learned to whistle through my fingers," he announced. "Wow," Sarah muttered sarcastically. Jed ignored her. He pulled his hands from his pockets and stuck two little fingers into the sides of his mouth and let out a big whistle. And the whole family bursts into a loud applause. And the dad, like, he's like, "Such a talented family," the dad declared. Like, I was like, what is this shit? But the dad was sarcastic as well. But I was laughing in it. I was like, this was just a great book. But Amy's thing, she usually tells stories, random stories that she comes up with. But this time, she wanted to try a little bit of her act with her dummy, Dennis. And she's performing her act with Dennis, and her jokes are actually pretty good. But then his head pops off, and she's like, "Dad, I want a new ventriloquist dummy. This one's head keeps falling off. We've had it in the family for centuries. You know, great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather had this dummy." But yeah, she wanted a new one. So the dad ends up getting her a new one, and of course it's Slappy. And I don't know if this is like a direct sequel to the very first book, because as we all know, the original dummy was Mr. Wood. That was the evil one. Then when he was dead, Slappy just kind of was awake. So I don't know if there's a deeper connection between the two. It doesn't really show it that much, but yeah, she ends up getting Slappy. Dad got it at a pawn shop, real cheap, about $1.50, and you know, she's practicing with him. And the weirdest thing ever, there's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or some kind of sandwich jammed in his head. So the dad like reaches up there and pulls out this moldy ass sandwich that was jammed up in his head. Like, if I go back and read the first book, I wonder if there is a connection between that sandwich and that. I don't know. Comment below, let me know if there's like a connection between that sandwich from the first Night of the Living Dummy to this one. But, you know, they look him over. That's when they find the card. And she reads it like, "Oh, darling Loma, Obama healthcare." And, you know, so on and so forth. He comes to life. Well, you know, she's, you know, same old skit. You know, everything starts fine. But then she, you know, next week happens. It's family gathering. And she's been practicing some knock-knock jokes and all this kind of stuff with Slappy. Well, it's, you know, time for the family thing. Family bullshit. And she goes to start her skit, and she's like, "Knock, knock." And Slappy kicks in a line and goes, "Knock it off." And then he turns facing the mom, and he's like, "Hey, don't break the sofa, fat ass." And then he's like, "Why don't you skip French fries and have a salad for once in a while, Jacob?" What the fuck? I guess I do need to switch. But anyway, you know, he looks at the dad next and goes, "Why don't you put an extra hole in your head and use it as a bowling ball?" Because he's bald. He's like very sensitive about his bald head. Yeah, Ben Diesel, mother. But whoa, where y'all going? Shit. Shit. But Slappy, he just, you know, starts in, and the family's like, "Amy, that's not nice. Shame on you." And, just, you know, throughout the whole book, you know, Slappy does what he does best. He does things, he trashes up things, everybody thinks it's Amy doing it, and, it just goes on through the story. And I am going to spoil the ending. If you don't want it spoiled, just, you know, skip 20 seconds into the video, or just, you know, mute your video, and I'll do this whenever I'm done with the ending. But, I love how, you know, through the whole thing, she's, oh, well, go ahead and start. And I love how the whole thing where she, you know, the parents don't believe her and stuff, well, she gets her sister, Slappy's, you know, in the closet jamming, and she's all like, you know, I've seen him, I know, I believe you now. But it ends with the family, like the parents knows as well. And they had a secret plot that they didn't tell Amy, that they were going to have Jed dress up as Dennis and kind of scare Slappy, and that way they can all get a hold of him and like stop him. Well, the light kicks on when the two girls are there and Slappy's, you know, doing his thing. And then the lights kick on, and then they look and they're like, "Dennis?" And he goes, "Move, girls." And then he runs and headbutts Slappy in the chest. Slappy goes tumbling down, pops his skull off. And then, like, you know, Dennis afterwards runs out the room. You know, and they're like, "The fuck just happened?" Well, the parents come in, they explain to the girls that they've seen what, you know, Slappy was real. They believe Amy now, and they told her their plan with Jed. Well, they're like, "Well, where did Jed run off to?" They went to his room. He was asleep. And he wakes up and he's like, "Shit, I forgot we were supposed to do that." And, I love how it ends. It says, "Oh no," Jed cried, sitting up. "I'm sorry, I forgot to wake up. I forgot I was supposed to dress up like Dennis. I felt a shiver run down my back. I turned to my parents. Then who fought Slappy?" I asked. Who fought Slappy? And then that was the end. I loved it. Like, it gave me chills. It was just a really cool ending for a story. Alright. But all in all, just a great story. I loved it. So, I would definitely give this a 10 out of 10. Just a great story. Let's take a look at the art real quick. random ass girl's room, you know, with the pink big ass bed, like walls with the flowers and stuff. I like the Goosebumps green coming down, so that's pretty cool. I don't know what the significance with these animals showing their little Tootsie Wootsies. I don't know what that's about. This bear looks like she's sucking on a pacifier. Sucking on D's nuts. Slappy, you know, he's got this little mafia, like, hey, come on, yeah? Or, like, the Italian, he's like, I want you some spaghetti. But, yeah, really creepy drawing of Slappy there. Just, and it says here, he's still walking, he's still stalking. He's still hitting up all them daughters. Slapping them in the face with D's nuts. But, just excellent, excellent book. Arlstein, great job with this one. Great job. You can't teach, breaking it down real quick. Love the characters, 10 out of 10. Love the story, 10 out of 10. It had me, you know, from the very first moment to the very end moment, 10 out of 10. Just a great story. Alright. You can't teach an old dummy new tricks. But you can polish its hands every once in a while. You know, you don't want it to look like shit. Amy's ventriloquist dummy, Dennis, keeps losing his head. Keeps giving her head. Losing his head. For real. So Amy begs her family for a new dummy. That's when her dad finds Slappy in a local pawn shop. Slappy's kind of ugly. He kind of looks like me. But Amy's having fun practicing her new routine. Knock-knock jokes. Then horrible things start happening. Horrible, nasty things. Just like what happened the first time. Because there's something odd about Slappy. Something not quite right. Something
evil.
Reader beware, your nipples got a hair. Just, yeah, great book. If you have not read it, yeah, I just spoiled everything, so you've read it now. But if you muted it, don't want to hear the ending and want to read it for yourself, or if you just even know what it's about, I would still give it a read. Comparing this to the episode followed the story really, really good. They kind of toned down Slappy in a little bit for the episode, but I thought that it was done really good. It wasn't as extreme as the book. Like, for example, when they go into Sarah's room for the first time, she's got paint, like, all in her floor. Like, it's thrown all over her floor. But in the show, the only kind of thing that Slappy does with the paint is he just paints, like, the family on her portrait of the house. So, like, there was no vandalism on her walls or nothing like that that I remember. So, it was a little toned down as far as what Slappy did. It was a little bit older of a girl that Slappy grabs her wrist and won't let go. Also, that occurs in Amy's bedroom. Whereas in here, she was performing for little kids at a birthday party. And Slappy wouldn't let go of the birthday girl's hand. So, just very minor changes compared from the book to the episode. I can't really say I like one better than the other. If I did have to pick, the book definitely better than the episode. But I just love Slappy's voice in the episode. And I love the creepy ending of the episode where we actually get to fully see Dennis at the end. But Dennis at the end of the movie kind of said the same line as Slappy did in the very first book when Slappy came to life after Mr. Wood had perished. So I like how they combined that little bit from the very first story to that episode. But all in all, I think the book did do a lot better job compared to the episode, but not by much. I love both. Both are 10 out of 10s. So, yeah, that's my review on the Goosebumps Night of the Living Dummy 2. Comment below and let me know what the next Goosebump book you want me to review. Go on my channel, look up all the Goosebump videos I've done thus far so you know what I have and haven't done yet. But just please comment below. Let me know what book you want me to review next. I'm just doing the original 62. So don't pick like the newer books. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Thank you guys for watching. Z3KO Trinity. Out! How's about a little bit of these nuts?